And we're alive. And we're back.
We are back.
We've been gone for a few weeks. This is Random Thoughts with Random Access. Random Access of Dutch. Coming to you live from the VIP room of the Weldon House.
Of the Weldon House. Yeah.
And we're in the VIP room. And we got new cameras. You see Dutch through his new camera. My camera. Like a special treat later on. We're still at 30 likes on the Random Thoughts Random Access page. And yeah, this echo may get to me. It's not real echo that you guys can worry about. But it's only about a half second off, but it's enough to stop me from talking. Unless I just don't listen to myself like this. So I really don't need to listen to myself. That's probably the best thing to do, is just not to listen. Because I can hear you across the room. I don't need to have the ear things in to hear you. And I don't need the ear things in to hear myself. Just leave them out. Leave them out. Okay. Because I just... Nothing really planned to say. I've been gone for a while. My sleep got really messed up at the end a few weeks back, and we were, I think, we might have done episode 8, and then that was it after that. So we'll call this one 9.3, just because it's the next number after 8, and the point 3 being Wednesday night for point 3, because I like to use the numbering scheme. Haven't put a lot of stories on Facebook. Really haven't been doing a lot of stuff to Twitter. Oh, actually, if you've been following Twitter, stuff has been going on to Twitter. I don't know about right now, but for a lot of it, there's like this pre-programming stuff to go out on Twitter weeks later. So the Twitter account was kind of self-maintained, so I need to get back into that and start posting some stuff. But it wasn't like it completely dropped off the face of the earth, at least as far as other people know, because I was responding to people, probably a lot of frantic messages. Please respond. Please respond. You're not responding. Well, I did respond. So, what have I been doing while I've been off? I've been on vacation. I was in Fantasyland. You see with the robot there. And then we got some few background pictures that'll be coming up, and you'll be able to enjoy. Hopefully, just been trying to get my sleep under control, and just trying to get used to just scheduling stuff. Therapy's changing again on me, so that weighs on me a little bit. Probably just general depression. That's been a problem. But I am kind of back on track. Got the bed by around midnight or so, before midnight, sleeping till 8 o'clock in the morning today. So in that range, maybe 7, maybe 6, maybe 10. But not before. It was just getting out of control. I was sleeping 2 hours here, 3 hours here, or maybe I was sleeping 3 in the afternoon until 3 in the morning. It was just crazy. So that's taken care of. And I feel a little better. Got the new cameras in today, so we're gonna get serious with some of this podcast stuff. I know I'm gonna let you talk about that a little bit right now. What you got going on, Shane? I just want to welcome everybody back. And I'll switch over to you and just kind of let you catch up with what you've been up to the last couple of weeks. I just been kind of out of it, but you've been extremely busy.
Yeah, we've been busy. I've been a little bit out of it myself, regards to some health things going on, and I've been not my 100%. But that doesn't mean that we haven't been busy on top of things. We launched Arisen Strength with meet and greet the other night on Sunday night, which is now we changed the day from Thursday to Sunday. I feel that the show is really more meant for families as well, because it's not just meant for those who are affected by the challenges that they face. It's also for those who are supporters of those people, whether it be family, friends, or acquaintances, whatever the case may be, that are trying to help another person. so that they can understand them a little bit more with what's going on. So it's really kind of inclusive. I think it's an inclusive show. We had all four people of the Arisen Strength team, which some people, were questioning whether that there was an Arisen Strength team. They thought that maybe it was just me, myself, and I. But I can assure you it's not. I have my good friend here, Wayne, who is our producer. He has been on the team since the very beginning, and when I say on the team, I mean when I was writing, and it was just in its infancy stage. Then we've also got Crystal Murphy, who is the JGF executive director of the JGF organization, and then we've got Joey Aquilino, which is also known as Joey Giggles, and he's the CEO of the JGF organization. So the four of us had a show, and what was called Meet and Greet, and I think it really went off well, despite the fact that I wasn't 100%. But it was really good to have all four of us because it showed that we're not just executives, we're not directors, we're not producers, we're not just business owners. We've all been in situations as to where we've had our challenges, we've had our struggles, if we don't currently have them. And actually, all four of us do currently have them. So we know what it's like to be a patient. We know what it's like to not be in fully control of our situations, to where our challenges and our struggles have suppressed what it is that we do on a day-to-day basis, much less our dreams and our capabilities. So we really had a good mixture on Sunday night, where Joey talked about his condition with RSD, which is reflexive. I forget now. Anyways, it's in regards to the sympathetic nerve, which he had an injury, and what it does is it is a chronic pain issue, of which is extremely, extremely challenging, and so he deals with that. Then we've got Crystal, who also she actually is a survivor of thyroid cancer. I believe she said 7 years ago, or no, longer than that. But she also has her daughter who has RSD, and her whole body, unfortunately. So she understands the challenges that people go through and face. I personally deal with chronic severe depression, as well as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and chronic migraines that I'm aware of. And a couple other things. You yourself deal with bipolar, and you deal with depression, and I also deal with suicidality, of which I've dealt with since I was very young. And there was another thing that was, what else did you have going on with you?
Recovery from addiction.
Oh, addiction, that's what it was. We both are addicts, so it's like we know what it's like not to feel 100% in our control, and so that was the whole bottom line, and it was a real good mixture of being able to show what it is that we go through ourselves and how we plan on trying to turn that around with Arisen Strength. That's what Arisen Strength really is about. It's about helping another, being able to be stronger, be more than what it is that their injury, their illness, or their experience ever was. So that's the idea. And then, Serenely Speaking and JGF has partnered together, so there's a lot of promoting in regards to both those entities, along with Arisen Strength. So yeah, we've been busy for sure, but it's a good kind of busy. And I've got some things that are going to be coming up this summer that I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to announce it just yet, but rest assured, we're not just resting on our laurels. We're continuously working on a few things to be able to bring the brand of Arisen Strength, Serenely Speaking, and JGF, as well as random thoughts, out in the open. So it's something that's exciting and a lot of work.
Right. We haven't quite ready to debut the web camera yet. This is the old web camera actually from my old laptop that you're seeing now. So this is the essence that that's pretty bad. I mean, when maybe it was down small at the bottom of the screen, see that's let me put a picture, and it's really the camera is failing. But the new laptop camera is a little bit better, but not much better. Getting ready here to go ahead and might as well go ahead and debut up the new camera. There you go. I have to figure out how I do this. It's there we go. Stop the screen share. Cancel screen sharing. Oh yeah, there it is. That's what it's very, very complicated for me to figure this out. So it should be a little sharper image. Now you can be horrified. Oh my God! Please bring back the other camera. Please bring back the other camera. Okay, bring back the other camera. It's no, just kidding. So it's a little clearer picture, and just I feel better using it. Feel like we've been playing with a little bit today, and I'll be able to find some good uses for it. Yeah, I've been keeping up with the news, but I really haven't been thinking a lot about with some news. Stories have been really getting on my nerves. I checked there was the big one going on now. He saw this, this is not really like random thoughts. I mean, there's a lot of random thoughts here, but it's a little bit off, kind of a little bit more political than, I like these political stories, but then use them as an opportunity to actually talk about some bigger ideas. But this one is almost a strictly political story. I don't know if you saw this. We didn't want to talk about this. But it was 47 senators and the Republican senators sent a letter to the Iranian leader. The executive branch, Obama, his team, whatever, been negotiating with Iran for some sort of like weapons, the nuclear stuff that goes on over there, and trying to get them to, whatever we're doing over there, negotiating over there. Well, they sent a letter to the Iranian. It was an open letter. But, attention, Iranian leadership. They published it. Whatever deals you make with Obama, we will be undoing immediately. And excuse me. Is this like somewhere between like treason and sedition? I mean.
No, it's just treason, straight out.
It is Congress's job to approve all treaties, but it is the executive branch's job to engage in foreign policy with foreign nations. It's not the Congress's job to do foreign policy. It's their job to just sort of approve it or disapprove it, with their voting after the executive branch takes care of it. But you don't need the Congress out in the middle, engaging in foreign policy. That's why we have the State Department. We have, all the ambassadors and stuff. That's all run through the executive branch. It's their job to do all the negotiating, making deals and talking. And you should never, as an American, be sending messages to foreign leadership, especially when it countermands, undermines the president's efforts and the efforts of the executive branch. So there was a petition on, on those You Change or out of the petition website that the White House sent up many years ago. We the People, I think it's what it's called. But it's got 150,000 signatures on it already. People saying, we want these people investigated for treason.
Absolutely.
It's like, but basically, it's every Republican senator.
And all of them should be treason. Every single one. I mean, personally, I think the whole entire Congress should lose their job.
Yeah, the whole Congress is out of control. But this itself is even more so out of control because they really should not be engaging in anything like that at all. That's just.
Well, I mean, what would have happened when George Bush went to go after Bin Laden? Then he made the decision. His handlers, not him, his handlers said, we need a victory. We know where Hussein is. Let's go there. What would have happened if all of a sudden the Democrats say, oh, wait a minute. And then they start sending notifications to the men that have boots on the ground and saying, hold that thought. Because that's ridiculous. I mean, I really could get off on this. It absolutely astounds me how this works, because it's the Constitution of the United States was not. It was so brilliant. It didn't allow this. It didn't allow it for us to trip over our feet like this. It didn't trip over our words. And not only that, but the Republican Party, hey, look, buck up. You lost. What makes you think you're going to win the next one? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You're going to constantly be a pinhead, you know, for the next 8 years if you lose? Is that how it's going to be? You know, because you're going to whine and cry because you didn't win? You didn't win because you made bad decisions. You know what I mean? You had the opportunity in order to win the war and everything like this, and you had approval on high, and somehow you took an approval that was probably, I think it was at 93% at one time, and and you let it go to the point where you lost the next election. You know, I mean, that's just the way it was. So, you know, like I said, I could really get off on that, but I mean, it's just insane. It's and there should be a regulating committee that governs over these elected officials, people who work for us, not themselves.
It's you know, and so I try not to get too. I don't want to get too, make it too political and anywhere. But that one, this one's already really got me because I've not really seen enough. I don't feel like I've seen a lot of coverage about it, and certainly not enough people saying, "Hey, this is just patently wrong." You could do a lot of it. I mean, there are certain things that you don't do. This one is kind of a violation of law, in my opinion. I mean, I think there are a couple of legal experts out there, several of them out there, and they're trying to say it's maybe it doesn't rise to the level of treason, but it certainly rises to the level of sedition, whatever that means. But there's something, but it's definitely a violation of their duty. I mean, they should not be doing this. One of them, which is that they have engaged in, which is like the kind of like the unwritten rule, is when the president travels abroad, it's two things. Is when the president is traveling abroad, you don't speak ill of the president, you know, while he's out of the country. And two, if you're out of the country, you don't speak ill. You know, it's like ask the Dixie Chicks. You know, it's like you know what we do is you know as elected officials, it's kind of like keep it in house. You know, yes, we have freedom of speech. Yes, you should be you know, call each other out. But we don't go to somebody else's country. We don't wait till the other person in another country and then call them out. Let's call them out while we're all in the country together. Let's call them out, and we'll air our dirty laundry that way. But let's not air our dirty laundry by going to. But this, you know, when I saw this, like, what did this really happen? This is not like one of those onion stories. No, this really happened. And it's scary. Yeah, it's and including, like I said, I was really unprepared with the stories. I mean, there was I've been having kind of keep up with the news, but you know, unless I'm looking at stories, I'm not really good at recalling what it was that I was looking at. I feel like it was interesting. I almost thought of it, but no, you know, marijuana laws. Kind of worried about some of these. You know, hopefully, you know, the marijuana legalization is starting to spread a little bit more. There is a bill coming up through Congress. You know, at least some proposed it was is to make medicinal marijuana essentially available for the entire country, which is just basically, I think the bill really is just to move marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2 drug. A Schedule 1 drug, which is almost like no drugs are Schedule 1 drugs. A Schedule 1 drug is like a drug that is so bad it doesn't even have a medical use. So things like cocaine and heroin, ecstasy, MDMA, those all have medical uses. Yeah. They're all Schedule II. So marijuana is actually worse than all these other drugs. So, at least by moving to Schedule II, basically it says that it allows you to do medical research. That it has a possibility of medical. So now you can. It's easier for people, scientists, doctors, whatever, to do research on the medical benefits. As long as it's Schedule I, it's almost impossible for them to do the research they need. Even though everybody knows that, because there's enough states that have medical marijuana, and a couple of places now that now have legal marijuana. I think it's up to 4. 3 states in Washington, D.C. It was Colorado, Washington State, Alaska, and I think Washington, D.C. Not really sure what the status is at the moment right now, because I know when Congress is stepping in, Congress oversees Washington, D.C. The mayor there said we're legalizing or decriminalizing basically just said we're not going to go after you. If you have under an ounce or under 2 ounces, and you might get to take it to a pier and pay a traffic ticket kind of thing. We're not going to. We said
Utah's in line.
So there's a couple states, Oregon, I think the ones they're coming along, but that's a good stuff. But there's other states doing medical marijuana, which we are in New York State. We're going to be bringing medical marijuana. At the moment, it's really, really tough. It's not going to be like California, all they're making it really strict. But the other thing they did, in order to get medical marijuana through in here, one of the other things they did agree to was to increase the penalties for recreational use. I mean, the whole point of this, it's just like almost like we'll stab kind of people who are against it. They're just so against it. They're not going to let anything go. One of the steps of moving to the medical is that you're making it easier to get sort of recreational. So they're just going to up it. They're going to say, you want medical? Well, then we're going to up it for increased penalties for recreational. It's like, so now, we already have enough people in jail for, drug use, non-violent. Even some, yes, they're involved in some crime, robberies, armed robberies, even though they're drug crimes. But there are those people who are committing crimes that would never have committed those crimes if the marijuana itself hadn't been illegal. But it's by making it illegal, you're forcing people to engage in illegal activities, and so it becomes a spiral. And it's like, let's remove this a little bit here. Let's get it out here. It's senseless, especially when you read the history of how marijuana was made illegal to begin with, and hemp, and the pressure from the cotton lobby, it goes back. You go back 100 years, and you look at the nonsense that was going on. And believe it or not, a certain racial component to it. It's amazing to me that when you look at the law, look at the history of how it got to be the law. That I can't in good faith support the law. Just have that. Whether you're personal opinion or like marijuana or not, when you go back and read the history of how it got to be illegal, and you realize what a terrible situation that was, and what that terrible decision was at that point. We need to make it legal again. Make a new argument for making it illegal. Don't just. I don't like laws. I've talked about this before. The whole idea of people who, I don't like something, so I'm going to make it illegal. What is that? They can argue for why it should be illegal, and things have to rise to a certain level, I think, to be illegal, not just because I don't like it. And a lot of things I don't like, but I'm not going to send people to jail for watching SpongeBob SquarePants as much as I want it. Terrible people. They should not be allowed to survive in society. But I'm not going to push that road yet. So I think the 1 meter. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's about 20 minutes. So, but just get to test some of the equipment, get to make the last restraint, coming back, coming hard. And we got to get to meet some of the first set, the more of the original strength team, Crystal, and Joey Giggles, myself, and of course Dutch, Shane Schultz here. So we can see some more of that. Got new video equipment, so it's going to be a little bit sharper, more professional look to it. and get back into the groove of doing this show, and get back into Twitter and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll be back tomorrow night because again, that was one of the things. I don't want to do this every night. I don't want this to be a I don't.
Well, Thursdays we're off.
Yeah, So maybe Friday or Saturday.
I fought for that.
Friday or Saturday, come back and this time maybe have some stories and talk about some more random thoughts. But tonight I'll watch this and see how it looks, and see how it sounds, and all that kind of good stuff. So encourage everybody, and we'll see you in a couple days for another episode of Random Thoughts.
We're back.